Good morning, everyone. Welcome to this morning's Licensing Subcommittee. Welcome to press and public in attendance and those watching the live stream on YouTube. Before we commence the proceedings, panel members need to appoint a chairman. So could I have a nomination from the panel, please?
Could I propose Councillor Ms. Camden, please?
Thank you. Could I also please just remind you to use your microphone?
You don't need me to repeat it. Yeah, could I nominate Councillor Miss Camden to be chair of the meeting, please?
Lovely, thank you. Do I have a second of the nomination?
Yes.
Thank you, Councillor Hicks. Councillor Miss Scanlon, I duly appoint you as the chair of today's subcommittee. So what I'll do is I'll give you the master and I'll give you...
Thank you very much. Welcome to this morning's meeting. Can I please those to turn your phones to silent or off? Thank you. We're here today to propose and to listen to a determination for an application for a new premises licence under the provisions of the Licensing Act 2003, Slab Shop, 51 West Street, Wisbech. Can I first ask, how long would you like your presentation to take?
Basically, we don't have like a time frame for 5 to 10 minutes, something like that. Yes. Yeah.
First of all, we do the introductions. To my right is the panel. Right, thank you. To my right, Councillor.
Councillor Paul Hicks.
Next to him.
Councillor Andrew Wallard.
My name is Luke Ilford. I'm the legal advisor to the committee. Andy Fox, I'm the senior licensing and compliance officer.
Would you like to introduce yourselves for the benefit of the
My name is Łukasz Czarnik. I'm a director of A-Class Foods.
Karolina Ćwik, I'm the manager of the shop.
And Abbas Hidayati from the 17 Church Terrace, Wisbech Market, UK Limited.
Chair, can I just add that this gentleman's representing Navina Trenda-Afilova, is her husband. So just sort of let you know. Thank you, Chair.
The hearing today will follow the procedures set out in Appendix A of the report back. Officers will introduce their reports in the usual way. When I invite you to speak, please unmute your microphone and then mute it again when you've finished. To initially start the officer's report.
Thank you, Chair. So the applicant, A-Class Foods Limited, is applying for a new premises licence for Slab Shop, 51 West Street, Wisbech. On Company's House, A-Class Foods is registered at 3rd floor, 86 to 90 Paul Street in London, and the only director is listed as Lucas Thomas Kazanik. Ms. Carolina Quick is the proposed DPS, and she's responsible for the alcohol sales, and her personal licence number is PERS 1043, which has been issued by Fenland District Council. The application is attached to Appendix B and details the hours that are sought for the licensable activities to take place. This includes the steps that the applicant would take to promote the licensing objectives at Section M, should the application be granted. On the 29th of April 2025, the application was received and the following activities and times were applied for, which is the sale of alcohol, off sales only. They want Monday to Saturday from 0800 hours to 2100 hours and Sunday 0900 hours to 1900 hours. The application was sent out for a consultation and was deemed valid and duly made at that particular point, and the period ended on the 28th of May 25. The application was sent electronically to all the responsible authorities And the public notice of the application was given by way of site notices and a notice in the paper, and they've been checked by officers. The application, like I say, was consulted with the responsible authorities, and as you can see from the table below, no representations were received from any of the responsible authorities, although conditions to be attached to the licence were agreed by the police. You will note at the bottom that we did have representations from any other persons as well, which we'll come on to in a bit. So during the consultation period, PC Hawkins, on behalf of Cambridge Constabulary, liaised with the applicants, and they agreed a set of conditions which are shown at Appendix C. During the consultation period, like I said, 2 objections were received from any other persons, i.e. local residents, etc. The main concerns there were in relation to noise, which is covered under the licensing objectives of public nuisance and crime and disorder, as indicated by the objectors. Obviously, the Licensing Act encourages discussion between persons making the applications and those serving the objections with the aim of resolving issues of concern. On receiving the objections, contact was made by the local authority licensing officer with the applicant's own agent to advise them of the community concerns, and the feedback was requested. None was received. The 2 objections, they can be seen in this report at Appendix B, and as I said earlier, they relate to public nuisance and crime and disorder, and that is the case before you today, Chair. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Are there any questions that you wish to ask the officer? No. Likewise, are there any questions you wish to ask the officer?
Just to stop you there, do you have any questions for the officer
For the officer.
about
not
his
in
report?
relationship to the application.
Not about
The application.
the application.
About the license which is Miss Carolina previously. Did you say KL?
Can you turn your microphone on, please?
Did you mention she was a license holder and a KL company?
Carolina Quick is listed as the
On the 27 High Street, is it, you say?
of Quick.
Yeah, 27 High Street, yeah?
No, the 51 West Street.
Okay, so Miss Carolina, is it Miss Carolina Maria? Are you Miss Carolina Maria? Yeah. Okay, so she was the whole license holder for 27 High Street in West Beach, and the company is being closed down on the 10th of June. Yeah, and so she was the license holder for the 27 High Street, and the company was being closed down, which is
I'm really sorry. Carolina Quick is a personal license holder,
yeah.
to be the DPS for this premises license application.
Not this one, no, the previous one. So I was thinking is because I think he mentioned the KL, some company which is she's a director.
No.
No, is that the one? No.
No.
Okay, so I'm
She's the proposed DPS for this application, and she holds a valid personal license.
Perfect. Okay.
Do either of the members of the panel wish to ask?
I've got nothing at the moment.
No? Okay, thank you. Would you like to give your presentation?
Again, good morning. Basically, my name is Łukasz Czarnik. I'm a director of A-Class Foods. I would like to thank the subcommittee for the opportunity to present to this case. We are fully support and respect the objectives under the Licensing Act 2003. And we taken extensive voluntary steps, including cooperation with Cambridgeshire Constabulary to address any concerns and uphold public safety, prevent nuisance, and ensure responsible alcohol retailing. We are applying for off license for the premises, which is located at 51 West Street at West Beach. In West Beach, we are applying, for license to sell alcohol between the hours of 8 o'clock in the morning till 9 p.m. and from Monday to Saturday, and from 9 to 7 on Sunday. We are culturally focused, high-quality grocery store serving not only the Eastern European community, but also the wider population of Wisbech. Our aim is to offer a clean, safe, and professionally managed retail environment. I would like to highlight that we have worked constructively with Cambridge Police, who support our application, and agreed a full set of voluntary conditions, basically just to ensure that we, follow the rules of the Licensing Act 2003, the four objectives that they are the main objectives in this act, starting with risk of public nuisance, basically. There is no music gatherings or on-premise consumption will occur, basically, because we apply for off-license. Clear signage will be posted encouraging respectful behavior when leaving the premises. Litter will be actively cleaned at closing each day, which we got everyday cleaning procedures put in place. No deliveries or waste removal at antisocial hours. Basically, there is no material basis or evidence that off sales from a small convenience shop operating standard daytime hours would reasonably or foreseeably cause a noise nuisance. Regards to the objection number 2, crime and disorder, like in objection from the part, basically there was saying about the crime and disorder on in this area. Basically, I think it's opposite to the objection because the CCTV cameras were installed in the premises. Basically, in our application, we put that there was going to be 2 CCTV cameras outside. We decided to put an extra camera outside, or that we got now 3 cameras to ensure that basically there is no any disorder in the area of the premises. Basically, the camera is going to be running 24/7 for 31 days. No alcohol above 6% ABV. Challenge 25 policy strictly enforced, supported by logs and training, logbooks basically, and training to the staff. The challenge to one policy strictly enforced, supported incident and refusal log books maintained and accessible for any auditors, basically. These voluntary conditions align with best practice in the trade and demonstrate a proactive, cooperative approach with Cambridgeshire Constabulary, who raised no objection to our application. Basically, basically we're going to provide, we provide like for the public safety fire risk assessment. Basically first aid, Carolina is fully trained first aider. We got designated place for the first aid kit. Again, staff training, basically for, with all the prevention of public nuisance, again, limited hours, sound control, cleanup protocols, protection of children from harm, challenge 25, safeguarding trained staff. basically the alcohol is going to be away from children, basically, because it's going to be under the, behind the counter, behind the till, which only person has got access to. And I would like to mention that, we are like a grocery shop again, which we are trading for around 3 months, or just over 3 months now, except the alcohol that hopefully we're going to be able to sell. We more concentrate in selling like a fresh meat, and the cakes, basically cakes. Yes, I just lost the track, but yeah, and we know.
We'll suspend the meeting for a few minutes while the individuals get comfortable in place. Thank you. We'll resume the meeting. Would you like to continue?
Yeah, basically from a business point of view, because like I said, we're trading already 3 months. We decide to apply for the off license after, not before we start trading. Basically, the reason why we're doing it is because the numbers, for around 40% of our customers are asking about like a beer, just to, satisfy our customers. We would like to provide them this what they, what they come in for, and to be like a proper corner shop for the local residents, where they can be able to buy everything what they need, basically. The needs that they, they want to buy, basically, and we would like to provide them. And for now, thank you.
Are there any questions from council?
Yeah, I've just got one question. You've clearly taken on board the recommendations from the consultation with the local constabulary, the police. Do you fully understand that if a licence is granted, that those conditions would be attached to your licence and obviously regularly inspected?
Yes. We are aware about this, and yeah, we're going to cooperate.
Thank you.
Councillor Hicks?
I've got nothing at the moment.
Okay. Do you have any questions concerning the presentation? Only concerning the presentation. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Would you like to be your presentation now as an objector?
Okay, so first of all, we got some condition in our. I'm Abbas Hidayati from Wisbech Market UK Limited, and I've been there since 2018. And on these years, we had lots of troubles in the shop. I've got lots of proofs if you want to. Because of the condition we got in a license, we're not allowed to sell a single beer. We're not allowed to sell the ciders above 2 liters. And the people coming around and they want to have a single beer and we not serve them, then they start having a fight and troubles. And plus, the police even asking many times we do not even serve the customers. Because of the front of the shop, there is like a small community apart, and is a lot of drunk people there and alcoholic drugs, and then front of them shop is a double yellow lines. The Mr. Sorry, I forget the name. Mr. No question. He mentioned he got CCTVs, yeah. And 2 things I want from you. The first of all, to drug test Miss Carolina, and the second thing, to check the CCTV, the double yellow line, see how much cause traffic and troubles front of the shop, and the other things. If the alcohol is granted, it has to be with some condition, which is what we got. And that's it.
Thank you.
I don't think it's in the remit of this committee to ask the drugs tests.
Oh, the reason, I've got a reason.
It has nothing to do with this application.
Okay, the reason is.
I'm really sorry. Hold on a second. 2 seconds. Let me speak.
The lawyers speak.
First of all, it's not in any way appropriate to ask for that.
I've got a reason for it.
And the second of all, it's not in your objection.
Okay,
So
no,
you cannot raise that at this hearing.
Cool.
And I strongly encourage you not to go any further.
appreciate it.
Are there any questions from Councillor Wood? No more, Councillor Hicks?
No.
Have you any questions? Do you wish to ask the objector any questions?
Basically, I would like to say that I feel sorry that you got some issue in your shop, you know, that you can't manage, you know, with the customers, that they can't behave. You know, those things, you know, happening in your store doesn't mean that it's going to happen in our store. Yeah, and I think, you know, this what just been said, you know, it's a little bit crossing the line, you know, because it looks like that.
Completely understand. This is an opportunity to ask questions.
Yes, ask a question.
Okay,
But if it's not a question, we'll just leave it where it is.
Okay.
That basically, yeah.
Thank you.
That's it, thank you.
This other gentleman is also an objector.
Yeah. Have you a presentation to make? First of all, would you like to introduce yourself? If you use the microphone there.
Is on.
If you bring it closer to them, they're not that brilliant. So.
My name is Divakar Kumar Roy. I'm local resident of 132 Osborne Road, basis Cambridgeshire, B133X. My objection is the parking in the shop is in the parking. It's a very difficult for me like this to pass through the shop when they have a delivery, and then the shop is in the area of the ducks and the alcoholic, the park and the school nearby. So it is very difficult if you grant the license. It will be fill the area by alcohol. So I'm really objecting again. There are enough outlets in the small town. More than 25 outlets and shops in small town. Why one more outlet shop to current? It's not necessary. We don't need one more outlet shop. Enough is enough. We had enough alcoholics in the town, and the town is not safe. Alcoholics and druggies, town is not safe. So why we don't want one more outlet in the area. That's what I'm saying. My cousin live nearby there, and she complained there are so many druggies because she got two children. She complained to my druggies and alcoholics hanging around this area. So you don't need one more outlet in the area. That's what my objection.
Thank you. Have you any questions for the current objector?
Not the question, maybe that, yes, and the answer for the questions, you know. The West Street is a specific street, basically. We got a few shops over there, and the shops that they place in Norfolk Street, most of the shops, they've been, you know, they're using the back door, which is placed from the West Street side, yeah, for all the deliveries, basically. To be honest, if you're gonna see the footage of our shop, the footpath next to the shop is extended, basically, you know, just, you know, it's because as soon as you're gonna leave the premises, the footpath is really, it's not so wide, basically, it's getting, you know, really small, basically, and I'm assuming that, you know, because there was shops before, This was made just to, you know, for deliveries, because we don't have access from the back of the premises. Basically, due to the yellow lines in front of the shop, with all respect, but you know, I can't be responsibility for any of drivers which they parking over there, even if they are the customers. You know, whoever got the license knows that where's the 2 yellow lines, they shouldn't be parking over there. Basically, with deliveries, we cooperate with the drivers. We know when they are arriving. Always one member or even two members of our staff is basically keeping the eye for the safety of the public while the raw materials being unloaded. Basically, if we see anyone crossing, you know, trying to walk through, basically, we're stopping the process of unloading the raw materials. We're letting the public to go through, and then we carry on. Yeah, basically, that's the answer for those objections.
Thank you. Is there any more statements that anyone wishes to make? And it's just a statement. It's not going into a lengthy process of this, that, or the other. So it's a statement concerning what's been going on. Are you both quite happy, both the applicant and the objectors, to the hearings that you've been given a fair chance to air your views in this meeting?
Well, like I just say, so front of the premises is double yellow line, and they haven't got, even he mentioned, they haven't got the back doors, they haven't got fire exit. So with any delivery, everything, it has to be in a double yellow line to unload it. That's all.
Basically, in this case, we you know, the council basically have to close most of the shops that have been placed in the Norfolk Street, basically, because, like I said, there is no any other access for the other shops placed at Norfolk Street. Yes, I am.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for your patience. I will now pass over to the legal advisor to read the decision notice.
Thank you. The Licensing Committee heard an application for a new premises licence from A-Class Foods Limited for Slav Shop, 51 West Street, Wisbech, PE 13 2LY. The committee heard from the applicant, represented by the director of the applicant company, accompanied by the proposed designated premises supervisor. The Licensing Committee also heard from other persons who had made representations regarding the application. In making its decision, the Licensing Committee considered and had regard to the Licensing Act 2003, Fenland District Council's Statement of Licensing Policy, and the guidance issued under Section 182 of the Licensing Act 2003. The committee were provided with legal advice, and that legal advice was as follows. The committee were reminded that their decision must be evidence-based, appropriate and proportionate for the promotion of the licensing objectives engaged by the application, namely the prevention of crime and disorder and the prevention of public nuisance. The committee were also reminded that they must only take into account relevant matters and to disregard any irrelevant matters raised or matters which fall outside the scope of the Licensing Act 2003. The Licensing Committee were instructed to disregard any allegations of drug use made by one of the other persons during the hearing, including the request for drug testing. The matter had not been raised in the relevant representations and should not have been brought up unannounced at the hearing. Other matters found to be irrelevant in this case, the issue of persons parking illegally on West Street, although parking can, in some limited circumstances, be a public nuisance, general issues of car parking are not relevant to the Licensing Act 2003. The Licensing Committee disregarded any references to drug use by the premises licence holder or its staff, as these matters had not been raised previously and should not have been raised by other persons without warning at the hearing. The decision was to grant the application for a new premises licence, subject to the conditions agreed with the police licensing officer. The reasons for reaching that decision are as follows. The applicant took the licensing committee through its policies and procedures and indicated that it was happy to operate subject to the conditions agreed with the police. The committee reviewed those conditions requested by the police licensing officer and found them to be appropriate and proportionate for the promotion of the licensing objectives. The licensing committee were not persuaded by the matters raised by other persons which lacked supporting evidence and seemed to pertain to matters outside the control of the premises licence holder. The Licensing Committee did not feel that references to issues experienced by other licensed venues at their premises would necessarily occur at the applicant's premises. The Licensing Committee were mindful of the provisions of Section 51 of the Licensing Act 2003 and the ability of any person to bring a review of the premises licence if the licensing objectives are undermined. That is the decision of the Licensing Committee today. There is a right of appeal to the Magistrates' Court against the determination. Any appeal must be lodged at Peterborough Magistrates' Court within 21 days of receipt of the decision notice. Thank you.
Thank you. That concludes today's hearing. Thank you.